Hey everyone, welcome back to Little Learner and Mom. Today we're going to be doing our 2018-2019 curriculum choices. I decided to do a later video versus doing it earlier because I wanted to work through some of his curriculum first, these first 2.5 months we've been doing school, just to see what was working for us and what wasn't working for us. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. What you see here, this is my planner, this is my pacing guide. I have the plum paper homeschool planner that I had customized for myself back here in June. So you'll see more about this planner in my lesson planning video that will be coming up soon. So let's go ahead and get started. For this year, we decided to go ahead and continue to work with our curriculum that we used last year. Last year we used the Good and the Beautiful Level K, and he did exceptionally well in this curriculum, and I decided that I did not want to move on to a different curriculum because he liked it. He was doing really well in it. We've seen a lot of great growth as far as his reading and in his confidence, and so we decided to stick with it. I am aware of it being not as diverse as it should be, but I fill in the blanks for those areas that I feel like need to be filled in. I'm his first teacher, so that is why we do that. So it fits our needs. Now for our supplements, we do have supplements because there are those occasions where certain lessons need a little bit more extra practice with them. And so I decided that I don't mind doing some supplements for that because I want to make sure that my son is mastering the skills that he needs to master for first grade this year. My son is a young 5, he's 5.5, he'll be 6 in November, so we're doing first grade this year because he's already done his kindergarten items last year. So for our supplements, we're using the Spectrum Language Arts grade 1. We're using Explode the Code level 3. He did level 2 over the summer. We're doing Reading Skills grade 1. We actually started this book over the summer and he just finished it on Friday. So I have recently purchased the grade 2 book, but I've also purchased the Spectrum's reading grade 1. So I'm still going to decide on which one we're going to do. So we do the reading grade 1 in Spectrum. We'll more than likely do the reading skills grade 2 next year. And again, for us, homeschooling is not trying to replicate school. We're trying to do things that basically work at his pace and for his needs. So I have no interest in moving him up to any grade 2 level work unless he's ready for it. And again, we concentrate in our home on the 3 important core areas of study, and those are reading, writing, and math first. We do those 4 days a week, regardless of what's going on. Here we have some other supplements that I occasionally use. I'm using the September Reading Comprehension Journal by the Moffatt girls. I have the entire bundle. This runs for an entire school year, so from September until May, I believe. And in the inside, I'll just open up a little bit for you. The children can read a passage, they answer the questions, they can color the different answers for that passage up here, and then they can copy their answers down here. I thought this was something really fun that we could do. He loves using quickie sticks, and so we'll be throwing this into the mix now that he's done with that reading skills grade 1 until our books arrive. We're also using the Moffatt Girls Language Arts and Grammar for first grade. This also is another supplement, and I only use this when those skills that are not being mastered in his original core curriculum, which is the Good and the Beautiful. So these items come out. We have the entire bundle set of these, and so I've doubled up some of these as well. There's a lot of them. They cover a range of grammar and language arts areas. So this is a great packet to pick up if you're looking for a supplement, and I will link both of those resources in the description box for you to take a look at. Now for math, we originally started out with Matthew C Alpha. I am a big fan of Matthew C. I love the blocks. I love how well it worked for him last year up to a certain point. We did push the primer to a side at one point last year, and we picked it back up and he finished the book. This year, unfortunately, this is not working for us. We're Not going to be using Matthew C. Alpha at this time. We're going to continue to use our Horizons Math Book 1, Grade 1. He's doing really well in here, and I think that he's just matured a little bit more, and so the Alpha was kind of frustrating him because it's a lot of repetitiveness, because it is a mastery program, and here he gets a big variety of different skills to practice. As a supplement, we're also using the Moffatt Girls First Grade Math Made Fun. This is a wonderful supplement for your children. It comes with a lot of different centers that go with each subject areas, and I believe there are 10 areas of units in this packet. I'm not sure, but you can check that out when you click the link in my description box, where you can find out how many units it is. You can either buy the whole bundle, or you can just buy that particular area that your child needs help in. Now, for writing, we used The Good and the Beautiful Level 1 last year. We started out doing Level 2 this year, and as of this past week, I've decided that I no longer want to use this, and we're going to go back to our roots, and we're going to go back to Handwriting Without Tears. This is the first grade book. Handwriting Without Tears, we have used this since he was in pre-K. We picked up The Good and the Beautiful last year for the very first time. He did wonderful in it. It's just this year, it's just not working for me this year, and so therefore I have decided to go back to Handwriting Without Tears. I also ordered another book that has not arrived yet, and I will do a review on that book later once we kind of work through it a little bit. So we're doing the first grade, Handwriting Without Tears. This is new for this year, and I think it's new for this year. They came out with another line of books called Building Writers. This is the kindergarten book. I bought this book in May, and it works on sentence structure and creative writing. So far he likes it. We're almost done with it, and so I'm not really sure if I'm going to go ahead and buy the grade 1 for this book, because we do something else for creative writing, and so I'm just not really sure if I'm going to invest in the first grade one. But this is an excellent resource if you want to get your children started on creative writing and sentence structuring. We're also using, as a supplement, 1 day a week, we're using the Spectra of Writing Grade 1. This book I originally saw on another mom's YouTube channel, Creative Wife Life, I believe, and I will link her YouTube link in the description box so you can take a look at her channel. And she had nothing but great things to say about this particular book. And so we're going to use this as a supplement, just something different to kind of mix it up for us throughout the week, so it's not a lot of repetitive work. My son does not do well with things that are repetitive, and so he likes to have some variety in his curriculum as we work throughout the week. So now that we've gotten over all the 3 main cores that we work on 4 days a week, let's talk about electives. Now, we do science as an elective in our home, and we actually we're working from the Real Science for Kids, and we're also working from The Good and the Beautiful. We finished up the safety unit of The Good and the Beautiful. We also have done the arthropods of The Good and the Beautiful. Beautiful layout, great lesson planning. You can take what you want from it and build your own unit studies. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm huge on building unit studies, and I do plan to do a video on how I do my unit studies and how I plan them out. So in October, we will be moving into the water and our world. I've already gotten our library books. I just need to prep this part of the lessons and build my unit study around it. We're also going to be using Real Science for Kids. I have the entire collection of all these books. This year, we're only going to be doing the biology. We've already done chapters 1 through 2 in here already. We're going to finish out this month with chapters 3 and 4, and then we're going to move into our Good and the Beautiful. I like this curriculum because it's very kid-friendly. It's got beautiful graphics in the inside of it. My son can read this on his own. He reads it to me, I read it to him. We play all kind of great games with it. I pair it with Basher science books. I pair it with Safari LTD tubes. I pair it with a lot of different things and projects that we can do for this. This week we're actually going to build a cell. I'm undecided if we're going to do it with construction paper or if we're going to do it with air dry clay. New for this year for us is we're going to be working on a little bit more nature. We didn't do a lot of nature study previously, and this year I'm trying to make it a point that we at least do some nature study at least 2 or 3 times a month. My son loves to be outside, and I'm trying to incorporate that more into our homeschool day or our homeschool week. So we're going to be working from The Good and the Beautiful's Nature Notebook, and I will be doing this right along with him because there is quite a bit of writing in here, but I have figured out how to modify this a little bit. I'm also looking at another nature curriculum. I haven't actually had a chance to really look at it in depth because I research everything before I present it to my son. So it's either going to be this or it's going to be a different nature curriculum that we're also going to be using. As another elective, we're doing art this year. I decided to join Deep Space Sparkles because the curriculum was awesome. The little bit that I did see, I had previously bought a Deep Space Sparkle Cubanism bundle off of Teacher Pay Teacher, and it was beautiful. So this year I decided that we were going to become members. I'm not sure the membership is still available for you to join, but I do know that you can be waitlisted for that particular club. It's beautiful. And if you follow me on Instagram again, you will see that we did do this very first lesson here. It's beautifully laid out for you. It's step by step. It tells you exactly what you should be talking to your child about. It gives you an artist study over here. I mean, it was beautiful. He loved it. We were supposed to do art on Friday, but we didn't get around to it, so we will be doing that today. And he also has decided that he wants to study Picasso. So there is a Deep Space Sparkle art bundle for Picasso, so I will be working with him doing Picasso type artwork. I'm thinking that we're going to do like a self-portrait and an abstract self-portrait. I did see, I believe her name, the FallCoFamily, they did a self-portrait of her kids and they absolutely came out beautiful. So I'm thinking that we might do something like that for our Picasso study. Another elective this year is we're doing vocabulary. The reason why we decided to jump into vocabulary is because he's pretty well versed on sight words right now, and so I feel like incorporating vocabulary to at least once or twice a week, be it during our knowledge box time or at night, or when he has some downtime when I'm cooking dinner, that this is when this comes into play. I've been asked on Instagram as well as here on YouTube to do a honest review of this curriculum, and I plan to do that very, very soon. The pictures in this curriculum are absolutely beautiful. This is the one for ages 6 through 11, I believe. There is one for ages 3 through 5. I decided not to go with the 3 through 5 because I decided that I wanted to have something that was going to grow with us and not grow away from us. And I felt like selecting the 3 through 5 because he is technically almost 6 wouldn't really be beneficial for us. So this is a beautiful curriculum, just very vibrant pictures. My son thinks they're hilarious. It's supposed to be a word a day, but it's working out for us. We're doing like either 2 to 3 words a week. So I may pause the subscription until we kind of work through some of it, or I might just continue to let them come in, and then once we get a whole year's worth or 6 months worth, I'll pause it then so we can work through it. Another elective that we do is geography. We love geography. We love this book. This book is called My Weird School Fast Facts. There is actually a series of books by this particular author called My Weird School, and you can check those out at any library, or you can get a box set on Amazon. This geography book, I can honestly tell you, is hilarious, and it covers everything that your child will need to know about geography. You can build so much around this book, building unit studies, having conversations with your child about different things. We have a geography DK book that we sometimes take out and we look at. We have an atlas that we take out and we look at. And so this is a very good book if you're into literature-based type of curriculum, which is kind of sort of what we do a little bit. I want to say maybe about 50% of the time. So this is a great book for you to check out if you're looking for something for geography that's like a read aloud. We also started our DK Geography first grade book. Again, he's 5. He's 5 and a half, so I feel like I didn't want to do anything too heavy. We've actually almost finished this book. I think there's like 3 or 4 more pages left that he has in this book. So once he finishes this, we're going to take a break from geography. We only do geography 2 days a week, and it's like after in the afternoon. And these pages are really, really The pages are really, really simple. I mean, he can basically read this himself. We do this together and we talk about it, and then we get the atlas, and he's really good about remembering certain areas that he has learned in the geography. So once we finish this, we'll probably do something out of here. I'm not really sure. We'll probably start doing a little bit of social studies. I do have a social studies curriculum that I've been looking at, and I just haven't kind of implemented it yet. We also study African American history in our home. And so last month we read the Who Was Aretha Franklin, or Who Is Aretha Franklin's book, and it was absolutely a beautiful book. And we did that in honor of Aretha Franklin because she did pass last month. And it was beautifully written. It was very kid friendly. There were a couple words that I felt like he wouldn't really understand, that I omitted it, but it was a really easy read. We read the book like in maybe 3 days at night, and it was really great. My son loves music, so that was right up his alley. So for this month, we're doing Who Was Booker T. Washington. We're also studying different African kings and queens and others in this Black History Kids edition. You can find this book on Amazon if you're interested. We're also listening to the Audible, A Child's Introduction to African American History. This is a beautiful book. If you do not have this book as an African American family, I highly recommend, even for a non-African American family, I believe that this is a great book that you should have in your home. It's got great illustrations, it's very detailed, and we're listening to it on Audible, so if that's also a choice for you. For history, if you follow me again on Instagram, you know that we started our history this past week. We're studying about China. My son has been asking to study Asia for months. And so I was very happy when I found this curriculum that the very first unit in here was all about China. So this is from Beautiful Feet Books, and this one is Around the World with Picture Books Part 1. Part 2 just recently came out. I'm not sure. I believe that the ebook is available for you to purchase, and I don't think they're shipping the books out until either sometime at the end of this month or October. But this is a beautiful curriculum. I have the ebook to it, and as you can see, it's very detailed. This is a literature-based curriculum. This is not a sit down and write type of curriculum and study. This is literature-based. So your children will build a beautiful scrapbook. They will learn about a different continent or a different country, and they'll have a chance to experience the food from that country. They'll learn all kinds of different important facts, and you can build so much off of this alone. So this is what we're using for history, and we're doing history 2 days a week, but because we started doing China, he wants to do it every day. And last but not least, we are doing a foreign language. We are a Spanish-speaking family, but it's very important to us that he understands and he reads Spanish. So we're using the Play and Learn Spanish book. This is an audio book. It's 60 minutes long. It's a very good book. It's 100% immersion. In the inside of the book, one side of the book has English on one side, and on the other side is Spanish. This book will take you through all kinds of different experiences that a child or an adult will experience throughout the day or throughout the week. So this is a very good book to work with your child with. Sometimes I just play the book and just play the CD out loud, and he'll just read along, and he'll match what he's hearing over here, and he'll read it to me in English. So this is a very good book. We're also using Teach Them Spanish. This is very basic. This is not, this is like colors and words and things like that and matching. So this is not really a hardcore curriculum that, that you can expect for your child to learn to speak Spanish. In my honest opinion, the best way to teach your child a second language is total immersion. And so, we're using this along with what we do here in the household, which is working out great for us. So that is it for our 2018-2019 curriculum choices. I'm quite sure that some of these things that you see may get X'd out. Like, I'm already thinking to myself that I might stop doing the kindergarten building writers and just go straight to continue on with our copy work, because it may just be extra work. But I do plan on doing our lesson planning video that is coming up soon. I try not to make this video really long. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave a comment down in the bottom or hit me up on Instagram. And again, this is how we homeschool. It may not work for everybody, but this is how we do things. He's thriving in it. We love it. We have fun. So if you want to see more videos like this, please feel free to hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you later. Be blessed. Bye.